Hey team, and welcome to this week's exercise capsule. Today we're going to go over the skill of passing from the ground. Now, passing from the ground is a really important skill, not only for halfbacks, but also for other players who need to clear the ball from the ruck and get the ball nice and quickly to their first receiver. Passing from the ground is quite a big skill, so we need to make sure that we're doing all the basics right so we can execute the skill in the game. What we're going to do today is we're going to go over a quick warm-up, we're going to go over our skill, and then we're going to go over our drill. Sound good, team? Awesome. What we're going to do, team, is we're going to go over a quick warm-up and we're going to go through some exercises to help make us better and stronger so we're ready for our exercise and our drill. The first one we're going to do is what we call a shoulder reach through. So we're going to have our hands flat on the ground like this. We're going to reach up nice and high and slide our hand through, holding for 2 seconds. 1, 2. Sliding back up, and then following the same pattern down. 1, 2. Then we're going to switch to the other side and go nice and high, sliding hand down. 1, 2, and back up again. And 1 and 2. The next warm-up exercise we're going to do is what we call a squat. Now what I'm going to do is take a big step back, make sure my feet are shoulder width apart. I'm going to hold the ball in 2 hands out in front of me, and I'm going to push my hips backwards like I'm sitting into a chair, and then I'm going to come back up again. Making sure that my knees are staying behind my toes, and I'm pushing my hips backwards, and then pushing back up again. Our last exercise, team, is what we call a lunge reach through. Now this is similar to a shoulder reach through, except we're going to lunge forward and then do the movement. So what I'm going to do is start with my feet shoulder width apart. I'm going to take a nice big step out. I'm going to reach through to the top, coming back down, and then pushing back off my front foot. Lunging through, reaching up to the top, coming back down, and then pushing forward from my front. Now that we're all warmed up, team, we're going to go over our skill. Now our skill today is passing off the ground. This is usually the halfback's job, but any player can find themselves in that position, and we want to make sure that we're able to pass the ball effectively from the ruck to our first receiver. We're going to start at our knees for this drill, team, and then we're going to progress to going off our feet. What we're going to do, team, is we're going to start with the ball on the ground. I'm going to place my knees close to the ball. Now what I want to do is the way I'm going to pass is the way I want my left foot to be facing. So if I'm passing to the left, I want my left foot facing out towards the left, and I want my right knee to be as close to the ball as possible. This way, my shoulders are going to naturally turn to the left, as that's the way my leg is facing. So I want to pick the ball up with 2 hands, and then pass off to the left like that. Same thing if we're passing to the right. I want my left knee nice and close to the ball, my right foot pointing towards my first receiver, and I'm going to pick the ball up with 2 hands, and then pass it off like that. Go through this a couple of times, team, and make sure you get the hang of getting your knee position and your foot pointing the right way. Now we're going to move on to passing the ball off the ground on our feet. So we're going to use the same principles as we did on our knees, except we're going to be on our feet, ready to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the ball on the ground here, and the first way I'm going to pass is to my left. Now if I'm passing to my left, I want my right foot facing forward, nice and close to the ball. I want my left foot facing my first attacker over here, and I'm going to pick the ball up and I'm going to pass it like that, making sure we're getting nice and low. So when we approach the ball, we want to get nice and low to the ground and pass the ball off like that, pushing up with this leg and then pushing the hips through the ball. Same thing if we're going on the other side. Placing the ball down, I want to approach the ball with my left foot facing forward, getting nice and low, right foot facing my own player, and then passing the ball off like that. I want to be making sure that we're getting nice and low to the ball when we pick it up. So we want to go down, pick the ball up, and then go through. So some key tips for that one, team, is remembering that we've got to stay nice and low to the ball. Whichever way we're passing is the way we want our outside leg facing, and we want our inside leg facing the ruck. So if we're passing to the left, we want our left foot facing out to the left. We want our right foot as close as possible to the ball, facing forward towards the ruck. Remember staying nice and low and pushing hips through the pass. Awesome work today, team, and see me next week when we go over some more skills to make you the best rugby player you can be at home.